The fastest hands in the East versus the biggest mouth in the West. We watched Rush Hour, and this is Geeked Out.
Popcorn in our hands, ready for the show. From the classics to the blockbusters, we're always in the know. Throwing references like confetti, we keep it real. Geeked Out Podcast, we make you feel. We're the critics you can trust.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Geeked Out. My name is Kyle.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And I'm Juan.
I was letting you do that one because I can't do justice to any of the quotes in this movie.
Certain ones, for sure.
Certain ones I just choose not to utter.
Yeah.
But as I said, we watched the movie Rush Hour this week. Originally released September 18th, 1998. It currently sits at a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. A Rotten Tomatoes score of 61% with an audience score of 79. This movie was directed by Hollywood scumbag Brett Ratner.
I like that, yeah. Yeah.
It had an estimated budget of $33 million, and this movie cleaned up at the box office. It made $244,721,000.
Oh, it definitely ate. It definitely ate the box office up, for sure. I'm pretty sure I saw this in the theaters with my father. I wouldn't doubt it, without a doubt.
I very well might have saw this in theaters. It's not etched into my brain. Like, there are certain movies that you see in theaters and you remember. This isn't one that I vividly remember being in theaters, but it wouldn't surprise me if I did.
Yeah. My father being a big martial arts cinema fan and a fan of Chris Tucker movies, it's a fair bet to say I've seen this in theaters.
See, I think this probably would have been my
Intro
to Chris Tucker because, I mean, I was 12 years old. I was too young to watch Friday, unfortunately. As we had discussed in our episode of Jackie Brown, I had never seen that movie at that point. So I really think this was my real introduction to Chris Tucker. And quite an introduction for him. I mean, there's something so special about his screen presence, and it's his voice, it's his swagger, it's
everything.
He just has it in terms of a comedic actor.
Yeah, he had comedic chops, he had the timing, and it was just his screen presence and charisma that just, definitely you took notice in his earlier films before this one. I got introduced to him obviously in Friday. I think I seen that movie a little bit young than I should, but I did recognize that he was one of the funnier additions to that movie. And anytime he was on screen, you just couldn't keep your eyes off him. He just was awesome. And then you saw that he could not only be an amazing co-lead, but he could be an amazing lead in a movie when it's just him. In the movie that came out a year previous was Money Talks,
which is another movie that we've previously done on this podcast, which, again, I didn't see until we did that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a fantastic presence in this movie, especially. I mean, it's a typical buddy cop movie with comedic elements, but to have him paired with such a straight Jackie Chan, again, I didn't watch a lot of martial arts movies when I was a kid. This very well might not have been my introduction to Jackie Chan, but it might have been one of them.
It makes sense.
And it's funny, and I did read a little piece of trivia on IMDb that they said that this was the first movie that Jackie Chan did released in the U.S. that had no dubbing whatsoever for his English.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think now at this point, after so many years of watching him, I didn't even notice. I was just like, yeah, that's Jackie Chan. Like, it's I wasn't even thinking that his earlier movies had been dubbed. It didn't even really cross my
No,
mind.
and it's kind of weird because the movies that he were like most known for that previous this movie prior to this movie was like Rumble in the Bronx was
That's the
one of
one
the
for
more
me.
and that one I believe everyone is speaking English, but yet everyone was still kind of dubbed over. It's fucking strange
Yeah,
how that
that doesn't
movie
make
came to
up.
be. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
I mean, I
But
guarantee you that's Hollywood producers being like, "Oh, well, no one's going to be able to understand them if they have any kind of an accent whatsoever."
yeah, there was a whole lot of ADR and dubbing in that movie. It was weird. Even yeah, and including Jackie Chan's character. But it did a lot of American audiences were introduced to that movie first, but as a career defining movie for Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, it's 100% Rush Hour.
Yeah, yeah, and especially even Jackie Chan goes off. He builds off of this, goes in 2 years later and does Shanghai Night or Shanghai
Yeah,
Noon. Then him and Chris Tucker team back up for the sequel in '01, and I mean from there they've both done multiple movies since then that are very
yeah,
recognizable. Um, Actually, it's funny when I think of Jackie Chan too. One of the movies that comes to mind is a movie that my father showed me years ago because my dad he's a big fan of dumb comedy, shall we say, and he has instilled that in
yeah.
me throughout my life. Did you ever, the thing that I think of too is, did you ever see the movie The Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise? Because Jackie Chan is in that movie, not a word of English. The movie is about it's similar to like a rat race premise, where
Okay.
it's people are driving literally across country in this unsanctioned race for like $1 million or whatever, and Jackie Chan is in it with another, I believe, Chinese guy with him, and they're in this vehicle that's got like rockets and a super smart computer, and but every scene that they have in the movie is they're just arguing in either Mandarin or Cantonese, whatever language it is they're speaking. There's no English whatsoever of him in that role, and that came out in 1981. Now, I will say, if you like comedies, I would highly recommend that movie. It's very funny, and there's a lot of cameo appearances that pop up that would just kind of blow your mind at the amount of them.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's awesome that like wow, I wouldn't that's actually a cool fact. I gotta watch that now. And it's cool, but yeah, his career defining role being in this one, I guess to it like a household audience, being a household name.
Yeah, I would agree with
Um,
that.
and this I believe this was almost like a renaissance in bringing in all these Asian martial art Asian actors into American films because not only did this movie introduce Jackie Chan, a little movie called Lethal Weapon 4 introduced Jet Li.
I was going to say this would have paved the way for Jet Li and Chow Yun Fat and all those guys to
Yeah,
bring their talents from Hong Kong
yeah.
and in Asia to the Western world and
Yeah.
art in Hollywood.
And if you look, I believe Lethal Weapon 4 and Chow Yun Fat's Replacement Killers were all movies that came out in 1998.
That's very possible. I mean, I would have to.
I'm pretty sure. I did the research. I could be wrong, but that's what my quick Google search brought me
So
to.
yeah, Replacement Killers '98 and Lethal Weapon 4. That sounds right. Lethal Weapon 4 '98 as well. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was just a thing that they were trying to do was trying to bring these known Asian actors into these Hollywood movies to make them even bigger names that they were. And it worked for the most part for two of them. one of them, yeah, he should have picked better movies. I'm looking at you, Bulletproof Monk. But the other guys had some pretty stinkers too. But I guess they were just, it was carried from the good movies that they did make.
If you want to talk
Uh,
bulletproof monk, well, we can bring up the spy next door.
and the medallion and the tuxedo. The list goes on for Jackie Chan, unfortunately.
But you know what? Hey, you know what? To his credit, Chow Yun Fat, also in one of the biggest franchises of all time. He
Oh,
is
yeah.
in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
And he was in one of the greatest martial art Asian films of all time in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, that's very true.
So he's already solidified from that alone, right?
Yeah,
Oscar winning. Did it at least nominated for an Oscar? So
yeah.
I don't know if it won, but
And the other thing about Jackie Chan is the thing that has always been so amazing to me is while he doesn't do all of them, he does the majority of his own stunts in his movies, which I mean,
yeah,
and I believe he also does a lot of the choreography for the fights, especially if he's going to be the one doing it. He might as well.
yeah. He has a whole team of like stuntman and choreographers that I wouldn't doubt that he brought over to this movie.
Yeah,
I believe
absolutely.
it's got to be a package deal. So
Yeah, so I read something about he normally does probably about 80 to 90% of his own stunts. The only time he ever uses a stuntman is if it's something that could legit, like, seriously go wrong and possibly, like, end his life.
yeah, something where maybe it involves like a motor vehicle where he's driving, something where he's like it's not just him jumping or like him and
Or
in
fighting,
that type
yeah.
of element. Because man, boy, some of the stuff he did in his early years. One of my favorite Jackie Chan movies of all time is The Drunken Master, and not
I've
the
never
first
seen it.
one, not the first one, but like there was like a sequel kind of. It was like almost like a spiritual sequel slash reboot of that movie. Dude, that's one of the greatest martial art movies you will ever see, and his greatest movie. He literally gets kicked in like a vat of lava, and because you see it and like they show it after the movie, they show kind of like all the stunts, and he yeah, it shows him being literally kicked in like this hot tar lava shit, and they just did it. I don't know, they could have faked it, but like they wanted off to be authentic. It just shows what he was willing to do to his goddamn body for the sake of great entertainment.
And I mean, as much as I do enjoy a good Jackie Chan movie,
You have to watch that movie, man.
oh, I
It's
will,
it's
I will, I
it's
will
great.
eventually watch it. But at this point now, it kind of, and I know it's because he's gotten older and he can't do a lot of things that he used to. But
Oh,
it really bugs me that all of this remaking and all this Karate Kid stuff. As much as I love like the show Cobra Kai and all that, to
mhm.
just bring him in just because kind of like he's a name and he's going to take over for the Pat Morita part. I've never watched it, so I can't judge it. But it kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I can get into that. I don't want to go on a rant, but I
No,
understand.
I just wanted to bring that up.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I like that too. But the fact that he is Chinese and the Karate Kid is the
Japanese.
karate, which is a Japanese. Anyways,
Well, the whole point of the original is they go to this is the second one. They go to Okinawa, which is in Japan, because Mr. Miyagi is from Japan. But I digress. I don't want to go any further on that rant right now. We'll get back into this movie. And as we do, I will say this movie, as we've been saying, stars Jackie Chan, Chris Tucker, and I'm going to probably get a couple of these names pronunciation wise wrong. I apologize. Ken Leung, Tom Wilkinson, Julie Sue, and Chris Penn. And I will just read you a quick plot summary that I got off the IMDb. A loyal and dedicated Hong Kong inspector teams up with a reckless and loudmouthed LAPD detective to rescue the Chinese consul's kidnapped daughter while trying to arrest a dangerous crime lord along the way.
Sounds about right.
I mean, it's a very basic plot, very basic, like I say, buddy cop. Get in, get out. Here's what you got to do.
Very
You
cliche.
dislike each other at the beginning. You end up loving each other at the end. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, this movie isn't doing anything that's completely different when it comes to the buddy cop genre. Pretty much the opposite. Very paint by the numbers.
yeah, they're
But what
definitely not
carries
reinventing the wheel.
no, not at all. But the driving force of this movie, the thing that carries this movie, is the electrifying chemistry between these two co-leads.
Oh, they're great. Their back and forth is fantastic,
Absolutely.
albeit
Definitely.
majorly offensive.
Oh yeah, it's definitely to the point where in some streaming services, if you are to play this movie, they will have a warning telling you that, yeah, that these are jokes of a different era, and yeah, some of them are offensive. But I'll tell you right now, there isn't any Asian person that really, really is offended by this movie.
No, and I mean, because you have to understand when they make jokes like that, they're not doing it to upset somebody. It's just, especially from Chris Tucker's point of view, he's just that loudmouth, brash, I'm gonna say what I want type thing.
Yeah,
And
he's arrogant, he's prejudiced. That's the character.
I mean, even from moment one when he meets him at the airport, and it's the thing that you see in movies all the time. He assumes that because he's coming from China, he doesn't speak English, so he thinks the only way he can communicate is by literally yelling in his face.
And talking real slow.
And he's like, "Oh, he must not speak the language. So how can I communicate? Oh, I know. I'll talk as loudly as possible, and I'll talk super slowly. So, but if he doesn't speak the language, he's not going to understand no matter how fast or slow you talk."
Which is exactly why Jackie Chan, character, Inspector Lee, who does know how to speak English, doesn't tell him that he speaks English because he didn't conduct him with professionalism and just
Or
started.
respect. Which is why I like later in the movie when he does find out that he speaks English, he's like, "I didn't tell you I didn't speak English. You just assumed
Assume.
and never bothered to ask. So I'm going to make you look like an idiot instead of me trying to be like, no, I can speak no problem. You're mistaken. No, I'm just going to let you make an ass of yourself, and then I'll swoop in and be like, yeah, I can speak English, no problem."
hmm And one of my favorite like things about this movie is how it opened. Like, because you get a sense of Inspector Lee's character. He's like a good, one of the best cops. He's basically James Bond, and you have that kind of opening with this movie. You get in from there. You can pretty much sum up his character,
Yeah,
and then when you get introduced to James Carter's character,
same
you
thing.
get to see you get to see him in his element, his Chris Tucker element, where he's improving. You're seeing his electrifying charisma on screen. You're seeing him bounce off of other people that are good, great actors. And yeah, he's totally in his element, and you get an idea of his character as well. I think it was a brilliant way to show us these characters and how they are.
I would agree. I do have a couple nitpicky things with those two opening scenes.
Okay.
Now, I don't know about you or the majority of our listeners, but for quite a while, I've watched most movies and TV shows, if I can, with subtitles. It's just something that I've done, especially when we're watching movies for this podcast. I find that it really allows me to pay attention to what's actually being said.
Mhm.
Also, when I had this movie on, every time that Jackie Chan or any of the Asian characters speak in another language, it'll usually say in brackets in Mandarin. Because as you know, Chinese isn't a language. It's either Mandarin or Cantonese.
Yeah.
So it says in Mandarin. However, in that very opening scene, when Sang, who's the main bad Asian guy, gets away on the speedboat, Jackie Chan says something, whether it's into his walkie-talkie or to himself, and it says in brackets, it says in Cantonese and says what he says, and the rest of the movie says Mandarin. Now, I don't speak either of those languages, so I don't know if that was like a production mistake or if that one scene he was actually speaking a different dialect or language. I just thought that was something interesting.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, I don't. I don't speak anything but English. I'm not a language aficionado, but I just happen to read that, and that could very well even be a flub of the department that wrote the subtitles. I don't know.
It seems like it would be more of an error on their end.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a very, very James Bond type opening, like you said, for Jackie Chan. And then you've got Chris Tucker driving this Corvette Stingray wearing sunglasses at like 9 o'clock at night, just cutting off traffic. It's so funny because he's doing like an undercover mission, but he is drawing so much attention to himself. It's not even funny.
Which would make sense if, they alerted the local authorities that there was...
that part didn't make any sense.
But, again, it's only to show you the type of character that he is. That's the only way that you can explain that.
Yeah, and
because
with those two cops being there,
there would definitely be other people. He would be backed up by the bomb expert.
That's funny because she says that to him when they're in the office the next day, and he's like, I work alone. No, but
you don't have the authority to do that.
No, because if he went rogue like that, the whole department would be like, well, you're clearly suspended, or you're fired.
But that's what I guess. That's why he was summoned to.
That's why he gets the shitty assignment. Yeah.
So it does make sense, but again, yeah, he would have been probably fired.
He would still get a reprimand. They're not going to be like, oh, instead of actually suspending you or taking your badge and gun, we're just going to give you this assignment that nobody else wants, but we're going to let you keep your authority as an LAPD detective. We're going to let you keep your gun.
It would have resulted in an almost immediate suspension under investigation, and he wouldn't have been able to touch any case with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is movie world, buddy cop movie world, where you can do things like that and almost get a slap on the wrist. Not even.
Yeah.
If you're Chris Tucker. Anyway.
It was pretty funny, and also in that scene after the shootout takes place, and I believe I've already mentioned this on another one of our episodes. I can't remember which one it was, but he shoots the car, and the guy's got C4 in the trunk, and it blows up. That is not how C4 works.
Oh, of course, but if you
it's an action movie
gas tank, that's not going to explode either.
No, I know it's an action movie trope. It's something that
if you shoot a bomb, it's going to explode in movie world. That's just how it is.
No, I know.
But the fact that he knew that, oh man, and then he did a little dance. Motherfucker caused millions of dollars of damage. Millions of dollars of damage.
His little dance celebrations throughout this movie are fucking gold. And I
Oh,
will
yeah.
say, when later in the movie, when he is in his car with Jackie Chan, when he does the little side to side when the music's playing, I'll be honest, I do that every once in a while when certain songs come on, and it's because
course.
it's because I saw it in this movie.
This movie has things that are so iconic, and that so many people, if they don't remember anything of this movie, they remember certain things, and it's like in like grained into our brains. That is definitely one of them.
Well, one of the biggest ones for me is later in the movie when he goes into the room above the Chinese restaurant, and as soon as he walked in the door, I just went, "Which one of y'all kicked me?" Because I remember that from the trailers, and it's just, again, like you say, it's just something so small that's I might go say 20 years without watching this movie, not remember a single other thing. I will always remember that one scene.
Oh yeah, and like it like depends on the person, but there's so many memorable lines
Yeah,
that like some people they quote more certain lines than others. But yeah, yeah, for you it's definitely that one. It's,
I
it's a
mean,
good one though.
overall, I really did enjoy this movie. I'll be honest, a lot of the notes that I did write down are little nitpicks here and there, that stuff that didn't quite make a ton of sense to me. Um, One of the main ones is the actual kidnapping of the consul's daughter. So,
Mm,
if you watch the scene, she's got two, what I'm presuming are bodyguards, escorts that are driving her
yeah.
to school, and they're in a traffic jam in LA because of some construction. And when they get to the end of the road, there's a police officer pointing every single car to turn left. All of a sudden, he sees their car and says, "You go right. You're the only car that I'm sending right. Everybody in front and behind you, I'm sending left." Right away, if those bodyguards are worth what they're being paid, they should immediately go, "Something's not right here."
Yeah, the red flags would be up, but again, we wouldn't have the movie if they didn't do it.
No,
And
I know.
but it is what it is. I do appreciate though that um I do like the little girl actress that they had in this movie. She like Soo Young.
Yeah,
Uh Again, one of those things that you just know Soo Young. You just know her name. And she was cool. She was a cute kid. She was she wasn't annoying, which I liked. And
no,
I
she was
do
really
like
good.
she was good. And I like the fact that she actually was kicking some fucking ass before she got,
Yeah,
inevitably kidnapped. She didn't go down without a fight. She fought, and which I definitely appreciate.
I will say. Now, well, we might as well talk about it now because it comes up in this scene. Excuse me, sorry. Even the music in this movie is very. I mean, it's obviously very 1990s, but that scene just before she gets kidnapped, you get, not only is she a cute kid, a good actress, she is singing some Mariah Carey.
Again, another scene slash moment in this movie that is etched in a lot of people's brains because it's just so iconic. Like it's so memorable because she's singing the shit out of that song. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, she does a great job because it's, yeah. So like I say, the music in this movie, you get that scene, you get "Fantasy" by Mariah Carey,
Hmm.
and then you get Jackie Chan loving the Beach Boys and the whole
Beach Boys.
the Beach Boy, Great American Band. And I love that Chris Tucker just, that's the scene where you don't ever touch a black man's radio.
We don't. You really don't. You
But I
don't.
love that he changes it, and what comes on, he's acting like it's some hardcore. It's fucking Jay Z.
Yeah, it's a song that's tied to the movie. It's part of that soundtrack.
It's "Can
So
I Get a What What?"
I can guarantee the song that was actually playing in that scene was not the actual song that they
that they dubbed.
put into the movie exactly. Or maybe it was. I don't know. It's no, it's not my favorite Jay-Z song, but
No, but
but when I do hear that song and I'm in a car, I'm gonna do the Rush Hour thing.
the side to side.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the iconic scene from this movie where they listen to War.
Between this and Small Soldiers, I don't know which one I've heard first. This song first, because they play them in both.
Yeah, I don't know which one I would have heard it in first. I would say that I would think of this movie before Small Soldiers.
Yeah, it's more iconic in this one than Small Soldiers.
But the scene again makes no sense because they're literally on a stakeout, and while on a stakeout watching this Chinese restaurant, they start dancing and practicing how to disarm one another on just a city corner or on the sidewalk. Like,
I get it. When it comes to that, no, it's impractical when it comes to, being an effective stakeout. But it was, however, the turning point of the film where they bonded and were on the same page. Because before that, they were almost butting heads throughout the whole thing, right? It was at that moment. It was right after that moment is when they became a duo.
but it's to this day, if I ever hear that song, I can hear Jackie Chan in my head going, "Good God, you all."
It's y'all, man. Y'all.
Or the what am I eating? Eel. What do you got? Camel's hump.
Bro, one of my favorite fucking scenes, one of my favorite scenes is when he is arguing with that old Asian fucking vendor, my dude, man. I ain't no punk bitch.
Oh, that part when he walks away. I ain't no punk bitch.
It's like no soul food here. He's like,
That's the first
I
thing
don't
he
sell
said.
a big box of grease.
That's the first thing he says when he walks up. He goes, "Only Chinese food, no soul food."
No
here."
soul food. And he's like, I ain't no punk bitch. I ain't no punk bitch. I ain't no punk bitch. That's something I have always said. It'll randomly pop in my head, that scene. I will always refer to this scene. It's just one of those things, man. I fucking cried laughing when I first saw that scene. It's just like 10, 15 seconds. It's fucking legendary for me.
I mean, even last night, I've seen this movie countless times years ago. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I was laughing, like belly laughing out loud, as if I had never seen it before. And I'm like, I remember most of these jokes, but they're just so good.
Mm-hmm. It is really good. It's really good. For most of them, a lot of them, when they were borderline racial, we're still kind of, we're still chuckling. We're still chuckling, but not as hard as we were then, anyway.
Like Jackie Chan's pool hall intro.
Oh, bro. But I found out that that's not the only hard slur that they said in this movie. Remember that, okay, when Detective Carter goes and meets the FBI agent.
The FBI says something too.
Oh, bro, I didn't know he said that shit until I seen this movie. I didn't pick it up. I'm like, holy shit. I know he was an asshole, and that's the character he is in this movie, but yeah, they established it early that he's a piece of shit.
I don't remember what he says, and I'm not going to ask you to repeat it. But
no,
yeah, when it came up on screen,
for Chinese people.
When it came up on screen, I was like, "Did I fucking hear that right?"
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he said, but it's the classic slur for Chinese people that starts with a C. So yeah, it was alarming hearing him say that. Because back then, you could say that type of slur. You couldn't say the N-word because, they would be unjust. You could still get away with that with Asians and probably Spanish people if I I wouldn't doubt it. But in this particular time, Asian people were still
Oh yeah,
kind of in that spot where they didn't really have much rights, and it sucks.
yeah.
But yeah, it just shows you, and it wasn't even that long ago. It wasn't that long ago.
No, I mean when it was uttered, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
But even
yeah.
even having Jackie Chan when he says "What's up," I'm like, I get the scene because he doesn't. He's a fish
He
out of
doesn't
water.
know.
He's a fish
He
out of
doesn't
water,
know.
and he's just repeating what Chris Tucker says,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
if it's Chris Tucker saying like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" Like as if he's saying like
Yeah, what's
it's
up? What's up, my
okay.
friend?
And the guy has him repeat it, and Jackie Chan gets this like confused look, and he does it again.
Yeah.
But I will say that is
And then he
one.
proceeds to beat the shit out of all the black
Well,
guys.
that's what I was gonna. Oh, that was another thing I was gonna say is
I'm gonna call you a slur, and then I'll beat your ass.
I love I love the way Jackie Chan fights in terms of he
The
never
environment.
well he never uses a weapon. He just uses whatever's around him.
That's the stable Jackie Chan thing. That's his style, man.
So
That's
obviously,
what
like,
set him apart from everybody else.
yeah, it's not like obviously the Ninja Turtles all have their own individual weapons, or like Carter has a gun. This and that. Lee has a gun, but he never uses it unless he has to. He just uses
Yeah.
whatever's like in this scene. He's using pool cues and chairs and everything else around him as like an impromptu weapon because it's available to him.
Right?
And
The-
even
the
later, he
most-
does the same thing.
The most dangerous Jackie Chan is a Jackie Chan that doesn't want any trouble, and he's around things.
He never wants any
Like,
trouble.
if he's around a fucking ladder, he could beat 100 dudes at once. All you gotta do is give him a ladder, a couple chairs, and some stairs and some shit.
Yeah.
And
Well, even later, he does it to the two cops at at the console with a steering wheel.
yeah, yeah, it's awesome. It's just this movie just definitely highlights the martial art, and not only that, his particular style, which is why I think they definitely brought his choreography, like his team into this, because it's got his signature written all over it.
Absolutely. Now, I will say, Ken Leung or Long. I'm not sure how to pronounce. I'm sure I'm butchering this name.
He's one of those.
He's
that
been in
guy,
so many things.
Yeah, he's like that guy, Asian actor. Like he's been everything. He's been in what Lost. He was in the Last Stand,
Last-
X-Men 3.
Yep. Oh my God, he played Spike.
What else was he in? Like those are the only ones that come up top of my head.
I'm looking on here. He was in Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Yeah,
He's
in a
been
bunch of
in, like
shit.
you say, Lost. He's been in The Good
He
Wife,
was in,
The
he was
Sopranos.
He was in that failed Marvel show, The
Inhumans.
He played my guy. What's his name? I forget the character he played, but I like the comic book character.
Karnak.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that are just really smart.
Yeah, but it's what's funny is I've recognized this guy in so many things. Never would I have guessed. It's the blonde hair.
Exactly.
Like
For some reason,
I
that
thought
blonde hair changed his face
so the
because
guy
you wouldn't have recognized him.
so him as Sang when he's on screen, literally even last night when I'm watching this movie, I'm like, oh, that's just they got some unknown guy to play this part, and he's never been in anything since. Then I fucking go on IMDb and look at the cast list, and this guy has. Let me see. I will tell you this is how off
That's
I
been-
was.
This guy's been in fucking everything.
He has 76 credits on IMDb.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of things, man. I didn't realize. I think I knew but it was only confirmed once I rewatched it.
Yeah, but it's exactly that. It's the blonde hair. It makes him look like a completely different person, and it worked
Exactly.
because for some reason, him, if he just had black, brown hair, whatever, I don't think he looked that intimidating. But because he has the blonde hair, he just looks so menacing and evil.
Yeah, he definitely had that again, which is why I said a James Bond. He had like almost like a James Bond villain vibe with the blonde hair and him being a goddamn maniac
Yeah.
and a decent bad guy. You know,
No, he was really good. I mean, when he's calling and making the demands, he does. He really does sound like genuinely intimidating.
and even he has a memorable line. Fight like a man. That's another line quote
No,
that people utter throughout the years.
it's wipe yourself off. You're bleeding.
For me, yeah, yeah, it's
But
one or the other.
you like the Chris Tucker version of that
Exactly.
one.
You did. You did.
What you know? What's funny is one of the going back to the whole comedy of this thing. One of the and it rings true even nowadays. One of the quotes that I actually wrote down is when Carter is talking with the bomb squad detective, and he says, "We the LAPD, we're the most hated cops in all the free world. My own mama's ashamed of me. She tells everybody I'm a drug dealer."
Right. And it's funny because the joke is paid off after when the FBI agents they say that who else would take on this boring babysitting job with, you know, keeping Jackie Chan's character out of their hair. One of the characters mentions the LAPD because, he was basically bad mouthing it,
Oh yeah,
confirming that
like they're beneath
everyone
us.
hates, yeah, yeah. Which is
But
I like how the joke kind of
but don't
paid off
forget,
even more.
don't forget, it's C-14 classified.
Oh, Jesus. My one of the funniest things too is like uh, Chris Tucker's reaction. Not only when he gets the news that he has been quote unquote promoted, but is when he gets there
When he
and
walks in,
he acts like he's running the show. It's so funny. And you
yeah,
could tell a lot of that is improv. He's just going. They're just pointing the camera at him,
yeah, because you can see
letting him
you can
know.
see the other actors are kind of turning like, what is he doing? But yeah,
Exactly,
he
because they
walks in.
probably shot at different time, and he probably said different things at
Yeah,
different times. So
he
that
walks in and he's like, "All right, I want to know where he's been, who he's been talking to, what he's at. Have the kidnappers made contact yet? Yada." And he's just going on and on. They're like, the two agents look at each other like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
I like how he asked just a random agent if he can
Oh,
get him
the
like an
earpiece.
earpiece. Looking at him like what the fuck? Huh? Huh?
I'm gonna need one of those.
What are you talking about? Yeah, it's just so fun.
Well, one of the other things I took note of is between Carter and the female detective, the amount of sexual harassment paperwork that he would have from HR is astounding.
Yeah,
He literally calls her up at one point and he says, "What colored panties are you wearing?"
it's true. But again, in buddy cop movie world, if you're a rogue detective, you can kind of get away with that for some reason.
Sadly,
HR
but
isn't all
true.
up. HR isn't all up in your ass like they would 100% be in the real world.
Yeah, not only would he not be allowed to work alongside her, he sure as shit wouldn't have her as a partner.
No.
Now, I remembered the kind of basis of this movie, the whole Juntao thing. Um, I remembered who the villain was, and I remember that it was Tom Wilkinson, who at the very beginning you see him like toasting Han, the Chinese consul.
Yeah.
And from I think that one of the first notes that I wrote is when it's literally a scene where he's toasting him at the beginning, and I put, is Tom Wilkinson ever not the bad guy?
It's one of those things that, they got the obvious bad guy to play the bad guy.
But don't get me wrong,
So
he's so
the
good
twist
at it.
wasn't shocking. If you know, a lot of buddy cop movies, again, it's another trope of these movies that there's a twist somewhere. And yeah, this was one. I like it. It's not completely, because as a kid, I don't know, like
Yeah,
11.
I wouldn't have
I
picked up
didn't
on it.
know. I would not have picked up on it. So the fact that the twist did get me at that time. And yeah, they don't really shove it in your face that this guy is an obvious bad guy, but he is one of those actors that is typically plays the bad guy. So
Yeah, they don't
one of
even
those,
really.
if you know, you know.
They don't even really hint at it. Where you see some
No,
other
they don't
movies.
hint at it.
Some other movies, they'll have the villain be like one of the mainstays in the movie, and they keep kind of going back to them. Whereas from that point, when at the beginning where he's doing the toast, up until you see him watching the surveillance in the Chinese restaurant, you've never seen him in between.
No.
So I could almost even see, if you're not paying close enough attention, when they show him in the restaurant being like, who is this? Like, I don't know who this character is. But no,
Yeah.
it's good that they don't do that, and they just allow him to kind of be like, yep, I'm your friend, and 40 minutes later, nope, I'm actually the guy behind all of this.
Yeah, because this movie, it doesn't slow down. It keeps up a really good pace, and if it had more time to breathe, they could have woven in some hints there. But you get to the twist somewhat early in the movie, and enough to where you really don't need that whole building up thing.
Yeah, but this was back. So this movie is only an hour and 38 minutes, which in the late 90s, early 2000s, that was pretty typical for a comedy, an action comedy. Nowadays, you get a movie like this and you're talking minimum 2 hours. So that's an extra 22 minutes you've got to fill. They probably would have done something, but I really appreciate the runtime of this movie because, like you said, it's a very basic plot. There's not a ton of exposition or time given to exposition. So you allow the characters of Carter and Lee to go do their little investigations, have some bonding time, get shit from their superiors. Like, everything happens in progression, and you don't have to sit there and listen to a 15-minute exposition dump that's just dragging the movie on and just adding time just for filler.
Exactly. And the only time you kind of only get that is when they are in the middle of their stakeout, and you kind of get some subtext on, their backstories and history of themselves by explaining what their fathers did.
Oh, but that's just another, like... Now, do we actually believe what they're saying? Because it sounds like they're just trying to one-up each other.
At that point, I think Jackie Chan,
Because I think Chris
for the
Tucker's
most
like...
part, I don't think he was lying. I think everything he was saying was the truth.
Well, he's like, my dad arrested 15 guys at once, and Jackie Chan just goes, mine was 25.
And I think a fun fact about Jackie Chan, I think one, if not both, his parents were in fact special agents of the Chinese government.
Well, that's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's both or just one. But I know at least one of them are.
That's really interesting, actually. So his training was probably a lot of it was probably homegrown.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Now, what did you... So, we get this climax of this kidnapping, the movie. I don't even know what it is. It's almost like they're at something like the LA Convention Center, and they're unveiling all of this ancient Chinese art, and this is where they're going to do the exchange. They've literally got the FBI on the second floor of this place counting bills to pay off, I believe it's a $75 million ransom.
50 million.
No, because he ups it. Because after
okay, same.
I think he ups it, I think, to 75.
$50 million. Who do you think you kidnapped? Chelsea
Charlie
Clinton?
Clinton.
Another quote that.
But again, that
Some
joke
people-
doesn't work so much nowadays because if kids were to watch this or teenagers, they wouldn't know who Chelsea Clinton is.
Like, who the fuck is that?
It's the first daughter.
Who?
Yeah, so they do. This is another scene where I really think that the girl who plays Sue Young, Julia Sue, or I think that's how you pronounce her name, really shines because when Carter goes outside, they've got one guy guarding the van where they've got the girl that's going to give them $75 million. And he basically dispatches him within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He then proceeds to drive the van through a window into the building. But this is one of my favorite scenes with the girl is when he comes out and he's like, "Yeah, you've got the remote. Go ahead, blow it up." And they're all looking at him, and even
Push the button.
Because he like winks at the little girl and he's like, "Just play along." And even she starts going, "Yeah, push the button. Come on, do it. You won't do it."
She said, push the goddamn. She said, push the
Oh.
goddamn button.
I really thought they were gonna do it like a scene of like her saying that, and then it shows like her dad almost like a look of like young lady. I was appreciative they didn't do that, but yeah, that was really funny when she says, "Push the goddamn button."
That shit was funny, man, and it was effective. It worked, and it shows you that this girl she's fearless, man, and I like it. I like it. She's not a damsel.
That's a really good point. Yeah. The only time she's really seems to be genuinely afraid is when Sang has her say something to her dad on the phone, and when the girl is going to cut the wire to take the explosive vest off of her. Those are the only two scenes in the movie she really seems genuinely scared. Other than that, she seems like angry that these people are trying to do this to her.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very refreshing thing, especially for a female, but also a child.
Yeah, and it's believable. Her acting is spot on, and she goes through a range of emotions. She's very talented. I don't understand why she didn't do other roles after this, because I think she would have been at least a decent. She would have had a decent career given a chance.
Yeah, and it also makes a lot of sense that she would react that way because the beginning it shows that Lee, while living in Hong Kong, has been training her. So she has some experience in terms of defending herself and martial arts and things like that. So you would expect her to try and fight back and be like, "No, you're not going to take me. I'm going to defend. I'm going to push back, and I'm going to get out of this on my own," type thing. Clearly, it doesn't work because the kidnappers outweigh her by about 100 pounds.
Yeah. But I'm glad that they gave her a personality other than a victim, and that she had something to do in this movie. I appreciate that. She wasn't a waste, and it wasn't one of those things where you take her out of the movie, it'd be nothing. Like you would miss her. I feel like she was a great addition to this movie for the time that we spent with her.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that statement more. But again, like we say, basic plot, basic outcome. I mean, they defeat the bad guy in after the briefcase comes undone and it literally rains cash, which I was kind of surprised they didn't have Chris Tucker do more in terms of like, not that he's a dirty cop, but like almost celebrating that it's raining money.
Yeah. At the end of the day, he's still a black man, and he's going to do things that a black man would do.
I don't even mean a black man. He's a human being. Like, I think if anybody saw it raining money, even if they're the most honest person, there's going to be that little part of you that's going to be like, well,
But he is supposed to be a cop, so it's just that most cops in movies wouldn't do that. So
true.
this is the only time I think you would see that. And again, it could have been one of those things where it was improvised, and they kind of just left it in the movie. Maybe he wasn't supposed to put it in his goddamn shirt.
I mean, he
But
very
they kind
well.
of just kept.
They very well could have had takes where he did do that, and then it just didn't play well to test audiences, or the director and producers didn't like it, so they left it or they took that out.
Exactly. But we know from the movie at that point that at the very least he's a decent man. He's a, he's a good-hearted man.
Yeah.
But hey, not one to if it's free money, free money is free money.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so they.
But again, yeah, he like represents pretty much the average American person
Yeah.
that would do that.
So clearly the good guys win. They save the girl. The bad guys die.
Yeah.
And then the movie concludes with Carter is now spontaneously going to take a 2-week vacation to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Which is the second movie supposed to pick up like days after the first one ends?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is? That's what I thought.
Yeah, because he mentions that he's on vacation for like 2 weeks.
See, now there's a scene in the second movie that it's when they go to the massage parlor that I kept waiting for that scene to come up in this movie because for some reason I thought it was in this one. But obviously it makes
Massage parlor scene?
Yeah.
No.
But it makes more sense because it happens in Hong Kong and Lee brings him there.
Yeah.
But for some reason I kept waiting for it and I'm like, I thought that scene was in this movie. Yeah, you're going to get a massage from one person and he picks like 8 women.
Yeah, he yeah. Well, yeah, he's soring his neck and his back, so he needed a couple other ones. And then the one girl, grabbed her titty, so he immediately grabbed that one. So, I get it.
No, I mean, I think this might actually be one of our shorter episodes because I'll be honest, I really don't have a ton more to discuss about this movie. I think we've kind of hit everything that I had wanted to talk about.
Let's see here. Yeah.
Oh, the only other thing I want to say is in the pool hall, the guy in the back room who ends up being his cousin, phenomenal red suit.
Oh yeah. Okay, buddy. Another that guy. I know him as Pinky.
I was going to say, is that not Pinky from Next Friday?
That's Pinky.
Okay, so what's better, the red suit or the pink with the Cadillac?
Pinky is his defining role. I'll take that pink suit. The red one is more clean. I would rather wear that one than the pink one, but for that character, it's the pink. And the Jerry curl.
Oh, the Jerry curl in that movie.
You gotta have it with the Jerry curl, bro. You're gonna have the pink suit. But yeah, and again, another to mention the pool hall scene when the one guy that has a conversation with Chris Tucker.
The weed?
Yes, it's nothing but a cigarette.
It's sick of
Nothing but a cig
weed.
weed. Another quote that a lot of people say. Some,
I love. He's like, yeah, it's a cigarette. I
yeah,
you
nothing but
got,
a cigarette, man.
I have glaucoma. You have a prescription for this?
Yeah, he's like smelling it and shit. That's just so funny.
What I did notice in that scene is he literally takes it's a lit joint, and he takes it from the guy and then puts it in the breast pocket of his suit while it's still lit.
Oh shit, I didn't notice that. That's funny.
But
No, I didn't notice.
that's the first reference to weed. The other one is when they go talk to Chris Penn in the jail, and the guy there manning the jail, whatever, who is another that guy I've seen in a ton of things. Um, he said Chris Tucker's like. He's like, yeah, I didn't turn you in when I caught you buying that big bag of weed. He goes, that's because I was splitting it with you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous. I appreciate they Sean Penn. Is it Sean Penn?
The what?
Not Sean Penn. His brother. What's his
Chris
brother's
Penn.
name? Chris Penn. I always enjoy seeing him in whenever he pops up in things.
I do too. Ever since I was a kid and saw him in Footloose, I've always enjoyed Chris Penn.
He was in Footloose.
Yeah, he plays Willard, the guy who doesn't
I
dance
have
but
not
he just
seen
drinks
that.
and fights.
Jesus, that makes sense. That's in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, but like I said, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this discussion of Rush Hour. We'll move into our final thoughts, and I guess I'll go first because I'm the one who picked this movie. So overall, I would say this is a very entertaining movie. Very, very funny. The stunts are fantastic. And as we both have said already, the chemistry between Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan is just off the charts. I would definitely recommend this to anybody. Pretty much, I think everybody would enjoy this movie. It's got comedy, it's got a little bit of action, some suspense in it. I just think it's a lot of fun overall, especially considering some of the stuff that we have now. It's nice to go back and watch some of these 90s movies and just kind of kill an hour and a half. You don't have to sit there and waste, like I say, 2.5 hours every time you watch a movie. So I would highly recommend this, as well as the second one. I've yet to ever see the third one, so I can't speak on that one, but I would at least recommend this and the second one. And I'm right in line with where IMDb is. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10.
Mm, pretty good. Yeah. No, this is when it comes to buddy cop movies, for me, this is in my Mount Rushmore of buddy cop movies. Being a buddy cop movie, it's definitely follows a formulaic structure to a T. Um, but that's not what this movie's about. That carries it. This movie is carried by the electric chemistry between its two stars, which is Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. When it comes to the action and choreography, I think this is peak Jackie Chan. Um, just in great blend of martial arts and stunts, which is awesome and a great intro to an American audience to what Jackie Chan brings to the table. It was great. When it comes to the direction, I think it's very straightforward. I like the pace. Not a whole lot of um, slow parts, and the parts that we get that are would get considered slow. Uh, you're getting bonding time between the two stars. This movie isn't, unfortunately, without its controversy, and a lot of the jokes wouldn't really fly now, and it just shows you it's a product of time. But it won't offend you if you haven't seen this movie. I totally recommend it. Um, for me, this movie, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10
Okay.
because I think it holds up.
Oh, it definitely holds up.
Despite some of the jokes, you know what I mean. But if you're sensitive, overly sensitive about these things, you might not have a good time with it because of those jokes. But that's a very, very low percentage of the population. I think the majority of people are going to like this movie because at the end of the day, this is just a very fun uh, martial arts movie that's infused with comedy and great chemistry between its actors. I think it's awesome.
And I would hope that people would watch this and realize that these jokes are made exactly for what they are. They're jokes. They're not meant to upset somebody. It's not like Chris Tucker or Jackie Chan's character. Any of them are like super racist, except maybe that FBI guy. But in general, they're said almost just to voice a stereotype or something like that. It's not meant to hurt anybody or upset them. It's just dumb comedy, and if you view it in that way, I don't think there's an issue. Um, I don't think there's anything to really get offended by.
No, if you're going to get offended, you're one of those people that are just overly
You're
sensitive.
Or you're almost
And
looking for something to bitch
exactly.
about.
You're looking for exactly. Um, yeah. Again, this movie isn't poking. It's poking fun, but it's not making fun of it. Not to the point where you're laughing at the person. You're more so poking fun to laugh with the person.
That's very well said.
Yeah.
So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I'm gonna throw it to Juan now, who will be. It's your turn to pick a movie for our next episode. Do you have one there in the chamber ready to go?
I do. I've been on a
boy.
comedy. I've been on a comedy kick lately, specifically parodies. They're making a comeback in movies, movie theaters to be specific. And I love it. I love a good comedy, especially parody, nonsensical type of parody. And I'm going to a movie that was set in the 90s that is parodying basically the gangster movies of that time, starring some of the greatest comedic family pretty much of all time. And that's the Wayans.
Oh God.
The movie that we're watching is Don't Be a
I'm-
Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. A classic, and honestly, one of the greatest parody movies in the 90s and of all time.
Okay, I'll be
In my
honest.
opinion.
When you said gangster movie, I thought you were talking like mafia gangster. I thought you were going with Mafia with Jay Moore.
Oh, no. It was between this one. I wanted to go parody. I was gonna go a deep cut parody with CB4, but I was like, you know what? I want to do the one parody movie that I think one of the first ones I've seen as a kid, and the one that I fell in love with. And to me, it's still one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
So I have not seen this movie in, oh God, probably 20, 25 years. It's been a long time. I remember very little of it, but I do remember enjoying it. I've always enjoyed watching the Wayans, so I'm really looking forward to revisiting this one.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
So join us, as you just heard, join us next time when we watch Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. And this has been
It'll be
Rush
fun.
Hour. Pardon me?
It's gonna be fun.
I think we're just going to have to refer to it as a different name. That's way too long of a name for
Just
a
say
movie.
Don't Be a Menace. Or-
That's already
no.
another movie. That's Menace to
I
Society.
know. We're gonna, yeah.
We could just call it "Don't Be a Menace" because it's Menace to Society is a different movie.
Don't be. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But
We'll figure it out.
But that is going to do it for this episode on Rush Hour. And as always, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for listening, everybody. Take it easy.
Peace.